Iraq contractors have cost taxpayers at least $85 billion since the invasion. That does not count 2008. When that is taken into account, they're going to have cost us about $100 billion. A new report out shows that it would have been the same or cheaper to do it through our own military. You don't say, really? Paying Blackwater and Halliburton guys over $100,000 to do work that our soldiers do for $24,000 turns out is not cheaper? Oh, I didn't see that coming. Wow. Remember the stories about how they would throw in a single piece of underwear into the laundry and charge $10 for it? They've been robbing us blind. KBR, which was a subsidiary of Halliburton, in 2006 paid an $8 million fine for how they ripped us off in the last war, in the whole Bosnia-Kosovo situation. And they're under investigation for 18 different ways that they ripped us off. But it's not just in the ways that they ripped us off. There's also, the sewage and the water that we had earlier. We had problems with the food that they were serving our soldiers. Because they're not soldiers. They don't care. They're a corporation. They just want to make more money. And if they give you crappy food and they make more money doing it, they'll do it. It's their fiduciary responsibility. Maybe you don't want to turn over our war fighting to a corporation. Maybe, just maybe. We're just getting wise to that now. And here's another story. Did you know that there have been several soldiers and one Green Beret that was electrocuted because Halliburton didn't get KBR didn't get the wiring right? Well, I don't know, man. It was the middle of Iraq. We couldn't quite get the wiring right. So what? A couple of people died in the shower. Or one guy died in the shower, another guy got electrocuted through his air conditioning. I don't even know that you could get electrocuted through air conditioning. But if KBR does your wiring, apparently you can. Now, in the old days, that would have been part of the military, and there would have been consequences to those actions, right? And somebody would have gotten in a whole heap of trouble because people died because of that mistake. People died because of that mistake. Now, hey, look, we outsourced it, man. We hope that KBR takes the appropriate actions. I'm sure they will. We hope that Blackwater takes the appropriate actions. Yeah, you keep waiting, see what happens, right? You know how many private contractors there are in Iraq right now helping us with the war? Helping us, I like it. 190,000. That is significantly more than the number of troops we have in Iraq. One of the reasons that they outsourced this war was because they didn't think politically they could get the American people to sign off on that many troops inside Iraq. They were right about that. So they said, oh, no, don't worry, we don't have troops. We just have private contractors. Second of all, it helped to get all the people who contribute to the Republican Party very, very rich. How rich? Like I told you, $85 to $100 billion in their pockets. Third of all, final point on this. You think that if you give corporations an incentive to go to war, a multi-billion-dollar incentive to go to war, that they might lobby to get us into more wars? No, probably not. Probably out of the goodness of their heart, they don't want to make those billions of dollars. Probably they won't, put institutional pressure on the United States government to start more and more wars. They'll probably be good citizens. Think about it. By the way, we find out that our corporate friends today might not be as good as citizens as the Republican Party told us about. Did you know that 2/3 of the corporations in America, 2/3, pay no taxes whatsoever? Imagine if 2/3 of the American people paid no taxes. Well, there was a loophole this, and I didn't quite make enough money this year, et cetera, et cetera. Sad day for you. I'm not paying any taxes. Now, look, some of those are legitimate. Some are small companies that actually didn't make any money, right? Some of them, made some money this year but lost more money last year, et cetera. Whatever. They've got, some of it are legitimate reasons. But are all 2/3 of those legitimate? Or did some of them find loopholes, perhaps, to avoid paying taxes? Of course they did! Of course they did, because they have an army of accountants and they have an army of lawyers. And one side finds the loopholes, the other side creates the loopholes. If you had an army of lawyers and accountants, you wouldn't pay any taxes either.